nobody tells you that the most gorgeous little girl dresses you've ever seen were actually made at home with nothing but yarn and a crochet hook. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what those designs look like and how you can start making them yourself. There is something about a handmade crochet frock on a little girl that just stops people in their tracks. Maybe it's the way the stitches catch the light or the way the fabric flows when she runs around. I don't know what it is, but it's something special. And honestly, it's something you can create. So today, we're going into the world of the most beautiful crochet girl frocks right now. The latest designs, the trending patterns, the color combinations that are making people double take. Whether you're a mom who wants to make something for your daughter, a grandma who wants to spoil her granddaughter, or a crocheter who just loves making adorable things, this one is for you. And I want to say this up front. Some of these designs look like they came out of a boutique store. They look expensive, but they're not. They're yarn, a hook, and time. That's it. Let me start with the problem that a lot of crocheters run into when they try to make girl frocks. They start with a pattern, they crochet the top part, and then when they get to the skirt, everything goes sideways. The skirt either looks too stiff, too flat, or it just doesn't have that pretty flowing shape that makes crochet frocks so magical. It ends up looking kind of sad, honestly. And the reason that happens almost every single time is because of the increase method. If you're not increasing your stitches in the right places at the right rate as you move from the bodice into the skirt, you're going to get a skirt that looks like a tube, or a skirt that flares out way too much and looks awkward. Getting that increase formula right is what separates a beautiful crochet frock from one that just sits in a drawer. But we're going to cover all of that. First, let me walk you through the actual designs because that's what you're here for. The first design that is absolutely everywhere right now is the yoke frock. This is a style where the top part of the dress, called the yoke, is worked in a round seamlessly, and then the skirt flows down from it. What makes this design so beautiful is the way the yoke can be decorated. Right now, the most popular look is a yoke covered in shells. Shell stitches create this fan-like layered texture that looks incredibly elegant on a little girl's dress. You work the yoke in a light color, like white or cream, and then as you transition into the skirt, you switch to a soft pastel. Lilac and white, peach and cream, dusty rose and ivory, these combinations are stunning. The shell stitch yoke frock also works beautifully in cotton yarn, which is great because cotton is breathable, it's comfortable for kids, and it holds its shape really well. If you're making this for a warm weather occasion, cotton is your best friend. The finished dress has this light, airy quality to it that looks like something you'd find hanging in a little boutique on a summer street. Now, the second design that is getting a lot of attention lately is the tiered crochet frock. This is a dress that has layers. Think of it like a tiered cake, but in yarn form. You have the bodice, and then the skirt is made in 2 or 3 layers that get wider as they go down. Each tier is worked separately and then attached, which actually makes construction easier in some ways because you're working in smaller pieces. What makes the tiered frocks so beautiful is that you can mix textures between the tiers. The top tier of the skirt might be worked in a solid stitch, like single crochets or half double crochets. The middle tier might use a mesh or net stitch that adds some lightness and lets the color underneath show through. And the bottom tier might be shells again, giving the hem of the dress all that beautiful texture. When you layer those 3 different stitch textures together, the dress looks incredibly intricate and detailed, even though you're working each tier on its own. Color is a big part of what makes tiered frocks so eye-catching right now. The trend is ombre, where you start with a deeper shade at the top and get lighter as you move toward the hem. So you might start with a deep lavender bodice, move into a medium purple for the first tier, then a light lilac for the second tier, and finish with an almost white lavender at the bottom. When the little girl wearing it, that gradual shift in color just looks breathtaking. The third design is one that I personally love, and it's the square motif frock. This is a dress that uses individual crocheted squares, sometimes called granny squares, that are joined together to form the bodice and skirt. Now I know what you might be thinking. Granny squares on a little girl's dress? That sounds like something from 40 years ago. But hear me out, because the way these are being done right now looks completely modern and fresh. The key is color control. Instead of using lots of different colors in each square, modern motif frocks use 1 or 2 colors per square, kept consistent across the whole dress. So you might have a dress made entirely of white squares with a tiny accent of sage green in the center of each one, or all ivory squares with dusty pink accents. When you keep the color palette tight and cohesive, the motif frock stops looking dated and starts looking intentional and stylish. The construction of a motif frock gives the dress a beautiful drape that you can't get with other methods. Because you're joining individual squares, the fabric has natural movement and flexibility. The skirt flows when she walks, it catches the air when she spins, and little girls love to spin. Another design that deserves a mention is the lace overlay frock. This one has a simple base, usually worked in a solid color, and then a lace-style panel is worked over the top of it. The lace can be on just the skirt or over the whole dress. The result is this beautiful layered look where the solid color shows through the delicate lace pattern. White lace over a soft yellow base, ivory lace over a pale mint. It's genuinely stunning. The lace panel effect is achieved using extended stitches and chain spaces. You're creating a net-like fabric that has open spaces in it, and those open spaces are what let the base color peek through. The trick to making this look clean and intentional rather than messy is keeping your chain spaces consistent. Every chain space should have the same number of chains. It sounds obvious, but when you're deep into a pattern, it's easy to lose count and throw off the whole design. Let's talk about sleeves for a second, because sleeves can completely change the feel of a crochet frock. Right now, the 2 styles that are most popular for girl frocks are flutter sleeves and puffed sleeves. Flutter sleeves are those little short sleeves that flare out at the edge rather than fitting tightly. They look delicate and feminine, and they're actually quite easy to crochet because you're just working a simple increase at the outer edge. Puffed sleeves are a bit more work, but the result is absolutely gorgeous. A puffed sleeve on a crochet frock gives it this vintage storybook quality that is almost impossibly cute. You get that volume by working extra rows into the sleeve cap before attaching it to the dress and then gathering it slightly when you join it. The gathering creates that puffy, rounded shape at the shoulder. When you add puffed sleeves to a simple shell stitch frock, the whole dress looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. Now, I want to go back to the problem I mentioned earlier, the skirt increase issue, because I want to give you an actual solution here. The most common mistake is trying to make the skirt flare by simply chaining more stitches at the transition row, but what actually creates a beautiful, even flare is a calculated increase. For every stitch in your last bodice row, you want to work 2 stitches in the first skirt row. This doubles your stitch count and gives you an immediate, even flare. Then, as you continue working the skirt downward, you add additional increases at regular intervals to keep the skirt expanding gradually, usually increasing by about 10% of your current stitch count every few rows gives you that natural skirt-like flare without it going too wide too fast. The yarn you choose also plays a big role in how the skirt behaves. A soft, drapey yarn, like a cotton acrylic blend, will flow and swing beautifully. A stiffer yarn, like a pure cotton with a tight twist, will give you more structure, which is better if you want the skirt to hold its shape. Neither is wrong, they're just different looks. If you want movement, go softer. If you want structure, go stiffer. Let's talk about embellishments, because the details on a crochet frock are what make it go from pretty to absolutely breathtaking. Ribbon is one of the most popular embellishments right now. You work a row of holes into the waistline of the dress, just small chain spaces in a regular pattern, and then you thread a satin ribbon through them. When you tie the ribbon into a bow at the front or back, it completely transforms the dress. It looks polished, it looks like something that took real skill to create, and it's so simple to add. Crochet flowers are another embellishment that is everywhere right now. A single large crochet flower attached at the waist or a cluster of smaller flowers scattered